Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. So, a while back, I put out a video, and I may not have even put it out because I do a lot of videos, but I do not necessarily release every video that I do, because it's almost like God is bringing to memory things of the past, things that I have had to deal with, or I have to go through, or I've had to experience, right? And people that took me through those experiences purposely because they were wanting to hurt me. Well, he doesn't call me to release every video, and I'm okay with that. But I'm sitting here in the vehicle, and I'm reminded of, at my old house, my former house, I remember walking outside one day and actually oh wow, okay, oh wow, one moment. And I just saw somebody still. Basically, they went into, wow, okay. Everybody's going through it right now. A lot of people are going through it right now, and they're doing whatever they can to survive. And I'm not going to shame anyone. That's God's job to do. Because, as I've said before, it's just another day in paradise for you and me. But truth be told, we do not know what the next person is going through. And their attitude may be positive and light and bright, but they are struggling, or they're going through some difficult times. But they still have the right attitude. But there are people that are engaging in stealing in order to be able to have money coming in. Which leads me back to what I was originally going to talk about, but I was distracted by that because I didn't know what that guy was doing, and I just realized exactly what he was doing. At my former house, I remember stepping outside into my porch, or to my doorstep, and looking across the street, and there was somebody that was parked, and they were sitting on the curb, and they looked like they were really having a tough time making a decision. They needed to do something, or they were told to do something that they did not want to do, but they did it because they had some kind of evidence on them. It was directed towards me, what they were going to do, and I saw it from a distance. I saw what this guy was dealing with, and even though I didn't talk to him, he didn't tell me what was going on, I didn't recognize who he was, I knew that that person was there to project and or to do something towards me to affect my life, the direction of my life, because they were told to do so, or something that they had on that person was going to be released. That has come back to bite them in the ass now, because they did it because they felt like they didn't have a choice. They did not want whatever evidence or whatever video or whatever had them engaging in whatever it was or doing whatever it was that they were doing. They didn't want it to be released. So they chose to sacrifice me when I did nothing to them. I was not deserving of what they did, but they chose to sacrifice me anyway to keep their truth from coming out, and that truth is out now. God is just letting me know that truth is out now on that person that engaged in the behavior to come against me and to attack me the way that they did. And because they chose to do that, because they chose to not do the right thing, it's 100 times worse. Well, that person was walking back and forth beside their vehicle, sitting on the curb, angry, because they knew that if they didn't do what they were told to do against me, that all hell was going to come down on them. God just let me know that he even spoke to that person and told him not to do it. That if he did it, it was going to be worse for him. That person believed that what they did, that it was going to cause me to suffer so drastically that it would have made me want to take myself out. Meaning that they expected what they did against me to be successful. And because it's not successful, I'm now doing this video now and speaking on it right now and releasing this video to let you know that when God speaks to you and tells you to do or not to do something, you have a choice. Yeah, you can decide to not listen, but there are consequences. As I said, the person that did what they did against me that evening, there was nothing that I could say to that person, nothing that I could even send to that person to keep them from making the decision that they chose to make that evening. God just had me step outside at the right time on my front doorstep, look across the street, see that person, watch that person engage in a battle with choosing right or wrong, choosing to do wrong against me, getting back in their vehicle and driving off, and expecting my life to go in such a downward spiral that it would make me want to take myself out, and him thinking that was going to be successful. And even God told him not to do it, and he did it anyway. That guy that was just parked here, that saw me down in my vehicle, parked in my vehicle, and chose to get out of his vehicle and engage and going into an environment and stealing from a work area because he needed the supplies for whatever job he was doing. He still chose to do what he did, even though he knew it was wrong. Now I'm reminded of the song, and I just saw this artist earlier on the radio, Freeway. He released a song, Even Though What We Do Is Wrong. And that song sticks in my mind from time to time. Even though what we do is wrong, people know what they're doing is wrong, but they still choose to do it anyway because they believe they're not going to have to deal with any consequences. They believe they're not going to get caught. They believe that there's not going to be a backfire. And they made it worse. When I was younger, adolescence, there were some things that I did that I didn't want to do. but I did them because I felt that there was going to be a benefit, that there was going to be a win to doing it. And I was wrong. I got caught. And in fact, not only did I get caught, but I was set up to be caught, meaning that there were individuals that knew what I was going to engage in doing, and they went and told, and or someone told them to get me or to manipulate me into doing something so that I would get caught and then get in trouble and then maybe made to look bad in the eyes of others intentionally. So I learned early on I was set up and sabotaged. So if I was set up and sabotaged by people closest to me, if I was manipulated and tricked into doing things that were wrong and they knew it was wrong, and they were manipulating and coercing me into doing something that was wrong because I was going to get in trouble, how many people out here in this world engage in that type of behavior, wrongdoing, and believe that they're not going to be sabotaged? They believe that they're not going to be caught. They believe that they're not going to have any consequence for doing and or engaging in whatever they're engaging in. I'm talking about your witchcraft. I'm talking about your spell work. I'm talking about your tongue, your evil and wicked tongue, spewing hate. All of that comes back and bites you in the ass. And it's worse. It's worse. It's worse than being set up and sabotaged like I was. Yeah. You know why it's worse? Because God gave me grace and mercy for what I did. Because I was set up and I was sabotaged and I was manipulated. But for those individuals that know what they're doing, and they're bold about what they do, and they know that it's wrong, and they still do it anyway because they've gotten away with it time after time after time. And then on top of that, they engage in these behaviors to keep themselves from getting in trouble. So they'll hurt somebody that is innocent. They'll set up and attack somebody that is innocent so that they themselves do not get caught up in things that they have done that are wrong. So that's another form of sabotage on an innocent person that does not even know, has not even done anything except be the enemy of someone that we may not even know we're the enemy of, that wants to see us down and out and suffering and in trouble and dire straits. When I tell you, I am truly grateful and thankful that that evening I stepped out. God showed me and let me know who and what they were going to do to me that evening. And I was still able to keep my cool. To have a good attitude. Even though what they were doing against me was wrong.